Good afternoon, I'm CMG reporter He Chang. By the end of this month, on the 30th, Beijing Municipal Subcenter, so one of the underground stations, Tongzhou Station, will be open to the public. That will be said that for the comprehensive transportation hub of Beijing's subcenter will enter into a new stage. So right now, actually, I am at the transportation hub of the subcenter. So I will show you around. So now you can see it's quite spacious for this underground station, and also it is in a very good location. So a lot of people may ask, where is this subcenter transportation hub? So actually for that underground station is beneath the ground. And before we go deep and go underground of the station, let's check out what we have above the ground. So here, let's take a look. This is a large square. That is what we call the Beijing Cell Square. So for this architect, the iconic structure that is called the Beijing Cell, we have like 7 cells together, 7 in large size, 3 in small size. So for all of these Beijing cells are in the shape in an open cell. So people may ask why you want to choose this structure as a cell. Because in this place, back in the ancient times, this place is very prosperous in the maritime transaction, and also cell has a very good auspicious meanings in China. So for this like Beijing cell, it is actually considered as an iconic structure in Tongzhou. And it is not just about the design, it can have a lot of the practical functions. So for the 7 major cells, you can see it is lined up for a structure, and it is considered as a shelter. So it can make sure that it can shelter the passengers and prevent them from the wind and the rain. Even though it is quite large of the scale of the cell, but it is quite flexible. Let's walk inside of the Beijing cell. This is one of the pillars of the cell. So for the foundation, actually for the base, just take a look closely. It has a special structure. It is quite flexible and adjustable. It is in a triangular opening. So what is the purpose? It is to make sure that, especially when we run into the adverse weather conditions, especially when you run into a strong wind, and this mortise and tenon structure can actually create a shelter. With all of this flexibility, can see there when you run into the strong wind, for this cell will change its position and also the angle, and also help us to create a shelter spaces. So that is not the only one function for the Beijing cell. When we look up, you can see we have many triangular openings. So what is the size of the opening? Why we open all of these angles here? All of these are based on precise calculation. So for these triangular openings, on one side, it can create a shelter for us to prevent us from the sunlight, and also we can channel some of the natural light into the underground space. As I just mentioned that for this subcenter transportation hub, is located underground, and we want to make sure that all of this sunlight can be channeled into the underground spaces so that we can create a very bright environment. So for this transportation hub, now you can see it in a straight position, and we have like different openings for this transportation hub. And all of these are covered by the air membrane materials. And also for the sunlight through the Beijing cell, through those triangular openings, and all the sunlight can be directed into the underground space through the air membrane materials. So if you ever visited Beijing and if you ever visited some of the iconic spaces in Beijing, such as the National Water Cube. So for the water cube, they also use the similar type of the materials, the air membrane materials. So for that, the membrane materials can help to create a chasm and also to channel the natural light into the underground space. So now you can see it is like transparent in nature. So it can bring as much as possible the sunlight into the underground space. So even though the transportation hub is located underground, but still you can enjoy the sunlight. Now you can see for this kind of structures, it has very good light transmittance. And also it can help us to reduce the lighting underground and save the energy. We do some math and calculation. If we channel the natural light into the underground, so meaning that you can save the electricity and the power for equivalent to about like the power usage for 200 households. I want to show you some of the videos to give you more insight about the underground transportation hub. So from the roof, you can feel the sunlight. It's pretty like spacious and also filled with sunlight. So this is the B1. So for this floor, in the future, we will put a lot of the restaurants and a lot of recreational facilities into this space. And also we have the B2. So from the screen you can see this is the waiting hall for the trains. And now we are coming to the B3. So I would like to tell you more about the B2, that is the waiting hall. And in the future, if you want to have the transfer from the high-speed railways and also the metro lines, you can do it on the B2. So when we come to the B3, by the end of this month, that is 30th of December, with the opening of the Tongzhou station of Beijing, meaning that in the future, we will open the railway line from Beijing to Tangshan, meaning that we officially kick off the opening of the underground station in Beijing's subcenter. And we just have a sneak peek of the underground station, but there's a lot of functions integrated into the underground station. So I would like to turn to my colleague and to give you more introduction about the underground station. Dear viewers, good afternoon. So right now, I'm actually at the comprehensive transportation hub from the Beijing Municipal Subcenter, the Tongzhou station. For this station will be open to the public on December the 30th. And just now, my colleague is talking about things happening above the ground and some of the basic facts about the station. And right now, so we will want to walk into the transportation hub to have a closer look on the underground station. And before the live coverage, so I would like to spend a few minutes to give you some of the introduction about our guest, Mr. Zhao. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Tongzhou station. So, and we will take you to a tour to explore this underground station. For the Tongzhou station will be put into use on December the 30th. Actually, we are one of the first who enter into the Tongzhou station of Beijing. So today I will tell you more about the preparation and the functioning of the Tongzhou station. And actually, the Tongzhou station is one of the key projects for the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei on Rails program. And also, it is very important for us for the urban mobility system as well as the intercity railway. And this will also give a lot of support to further develop the national railway network. So when we're opening the Tongzhou station, it will create a new landscape for Beijing's municipal transportation. So right now we have several stations in Beijing, and right now we are at the Tongzhou station. So when we talk about the Tongzhou station, as it integrates into the existing transportation network in Beijing, what will be some of the impact for the Tongzhou station? So first, we will talk about the subcenter, the comprehensive transportation hub. We have actually 5 floors in total, including the underground stations. So I will give you an overview about each floor. So this time we can see that we integrate all of these light stations into the urban development. And as we open different like railway stations, and it will give more conveniences to our people for the transportation. As we just mentioned, right now we are at the B1 floor, and actually we also have the B2. So that is the waiting hall for the metro lines and also the high-speed rail lines. And also we have the B3. And for the B3, and that is the suburban railway. So also we can see the platforms also located in B3. But in the past, when we want to get on the train, we have to do it on the ground. So why we do this this time? We put all of the platforms underground. Well, this time we are putting everything underground. And first of all, we have considered some of the firefighting services. And for this structure, we also have to consider some of the design and the structure of the metro lines. For example, we want to mitigate the noises for the operation of the trains. And also we want to create a modernized underground station. Yes, indeed, if we look at the underground station, it feels like it is more considerable, especially for the firefighting services area. So this is one of our key features for the transportation hub, and it is a highly connected transportation hub. It is quite different from the conventional train stations. Right now, you can see we try to integrate the station into the urban development. Because when we walk into the underground station, you can see we have opened a lot of shops and stores and also restaurants, and this is quite unique for us. So right now you can see we have all of these spaces reserved for the vendors, and we are also building some of the commercial facilities just to meet the needs, the consumption needs for our passengers. For example, we open some of the markets, and we want to set up some of the vending machines, and also we want to open some of the retail stores to sell the snacks to our passengers. As we just mentioned, that we just want to integrate the station into the urban development. And also this is a urban mobility system. Now you can see this is quite spacious in this space. And with the positioning of the comprehensive transportation hub, in the future we want to host a series of exhibitions here. For example, we want to combine different elements of our daily life and to make the best out of these spaces, and to have these exhibitions, people can learn more about the nature and also the civilization, etc. So how many restaurants we have right now, or how many shops we have for this transportation hub? So right now we have not yet opened to the public for these places. Still, we are trying to find out more potentials of this place. This is the commercial areas, and in the future we will continue to find out more development opportunities for those retail shops. We just want to meet all of these diversified needs from our passengers. So for those passengers or visitors, if they're not like taking the train, but still they can come and visit this comprehensive transportation hub. So this is the lifestyle area. So that is in the B1. But in the B2, people will get on the train and have the to meet their needs for the transportation. So in summary, in this subcenter comprehensive transportation hub, it is not just a place served for the transportation. Also, you can shop in this place. Yes, with your introduction, I can feel that it is not just a train station, it is not an underground station, it is also a commerce building. And sometimes if you come to the station quite early, and maybe you can take a rest here, you can like visit the different shops, and also you can go to the restaurants. So now we serve ourselves as the first group of the passengers. We already like enter into the Tongzhou station. So in a conventional or traditional train station, after we enter into the station, we actually enter directly into the waiting hall. But here, now you can see it's quite different. Because here, you can see if you look up, it has a very huge like ceiling, as we said. Now you can see we have like 2 layers of the structure of this transportation hub. So on the first layer, it is the shelter layer. And also you can see for these like triangular openings, so this can serve as a shelter, especially in summer or in winter because of different angles of the sunlight. If we have this like shelter layer, and we can help to direct or channel the natural light into the underground spaces. So we have to make sure that we have a very bright and warm environment inside of the underground station. And just take a look at all of these like the bubbles. So that is what we call the air membrane materials. So we just talk about the water cube. And the water cube is exactly using the same kind of materials, the air membrane materials, and this can help us to create a shelter while channeling the light into the underground space. So we would say the bubbles can actually breathe. For example, I would say with the change of the air conditions for these bubbles, they will direct like more fresh air inside of the underground space. So yes, indeed, when I come inside, I can feel that the temperature and also the air condition is very good. It is not that cold, but also very cozy inside. Now you can see that the sunlight is channeled through outside into the underground space. So even though you are in the waiting hall underground, but still you can feel the sunlight. And if you look down, like even though you are in like B2 or B3, you can still feel the sunlight. And in different spaces, you can see we have a very unique and creative design of the seatings. So it is more random and comfortable. And also you can see for the shape, it's quite different. And also for a lot of the seating area, they are actually laid out and designed in the shape of the oars and the paddles. And now we are also trying to bring a lot of the plants inside of the underground station, because we have the natural lights coming in, and also we want to make this place very beautiful, just like a garden. And now actually we are testing the screen inside of the station. And I believe many people are curious, where I can go in coming to the Tongzhou station. So, for example, for this one, we have like 3 directions. So we will go to the Beijing city and the Qinhuangdao of Hebei province, and also Tangshan city. So now you can see we have the 5 large shape of the what we call the Beijing cell. And now you can see we are very warm inside of the underground station. And so those who are waiting for the trains, I believe they will feel very cozy. So what happens if they want to visit the city center of Beijing or go to the airport? So as I just mentioned, we have like 5 floors. So for the first 3 layers, on the western side, you can actually take the shuttle buses and the public transportation on the first floor in the B1. And actually you can transfer to the waiting hall, and in the B2 you can exit, and we have like 2 gates. You can get the car hailing services and also the taxis. On the western side, it is the major transit point. You can actually take the line 6 of Beijing and go to the city center. And also we have some of the detailed services provided to the passengers. For example, we open some of the green channels, and also we open some of the trails outdoors, so they can enjoy the view when they are walking outside of the train station. So they will not get bored when they are walking outside of the train station. And here I can see a lot of the signs. For example, the metros and the rail lines, car hailing services, taxis, shuttle buses, public transportation, intercity, railway, etc. So you can find all kinds of transportation means inside of this underground station. As I just mentioned, for the transportation hub, we just want to build this into an urban mobility system. So it is not just a single function transportation hub, and also we want to bring some of the functions of the urban development into this train station. And also we will have a lot of the volunteers, cleaners and security guards to be stationed inside of the transportation hub, so that we can provide diversified and high-quality services to the passengers. So as we just mentioned that in this place it's quite spacious, maybe in the future we will have like shuttle buses inside of the underground station. We are working on it. So we are pretty much looking forward to that. On December the 30th, soon we will open the Beijing, the Tongzhou station. So what are some of the reminders or tips for the first group of the passengers coming to the Tongzhou station? As we just mentioned that for the Tongzhou station right now, we just opened to the public, but still we are developing. And for the surrounding area, especially for the facilities, we'll still explore the possibilities to improve those facilities. So I suggest for the passengers to take the public transportation to come to the Tongzhou station, so that we can mitigate the pressure for the transportation hub. And also we can have a pressure test for this transportation hub. Thank you very much for your introduction about this comprehensive transportation hub. And we just just like have a sneak peek of the brand new Tongzhou station. So that's the end of my part. So we welcome all of you to pay a visit to the Tongzhou station of Beijing and experience all of these new technologies. See you next time. Thank you.